We rock on, and I am pleased and privileged to have my boy JR Gamble join me from the Shadow League. And as the man who really is the glue that holds MLBBro.com down, we must talk about what the hell is going on with Tony Clark. I mean, this is the second time, objectively speaking, that we've had a brother with significant ties to Michigan who has a white wife who goes out and cheats on said wife with another woman, and it costs him everything. What's in the water up there?
He took it to a next level though.
Yeah, like, he did.
he kept it in house, like literally.
He elevated the game, huh? Is that what you're saying?
Man, well, there's so many different dynamics at play there. Like, we could do 100 shows. We could call wifey in to come sit down and do a show. You know, I'd be like, we could do so many shows here. But sticking to sports and what he meant to baseball and the Major League Baseball Players Association and black baseball as a man with great power. And Mark, when I woke up, see, what I immediately thought about was all the black-based youth initiatives that he had under Players Way, which you might not know, Hank Aaron, Dream Series. I can't say it's definite, but I will say that the Mlbpa were huge parts of all of those things. Now, I don't know if they fall directly under Players Way because I don't want to incriminate one thing with the other, but what I do know is we wouldn't have had all of these black baseball initiatives, all these black players out of these programs getting drafted, an increase in grassroots baseball participation and softball participation across the country if it wasn't for Tony Clark being the union boss and prioritizing, diversifying the game. Now, with all that being said, what do we have in the end? Dag, man. Another black superhero who didn't have the discipline, I guess, didn't have the discipline, the deeper understanding, and the true connection to the cause to rise above those things that have plagued Ime Udoka, Sharon Moore, and a plethora of other brothers who gained power in the workplace. Nefarious forces are always moving when you're elevating, not just as a black man, but as a person of power.
Right.
So, Dad, I was good with the financial irregularities because what I do know is that when you're in the business of diversifying a sport or helping underprivileged kids, a lot of money goes out. There's not much return in investing in young and underprivileged kids until years later.
Right.
So saying they don't see any revenue generated, I don't know if that was what Players Way was, but I have read the reports, and I know it's deeper than that, even with the money. Well, some say he was stealing, allegedly. That hasn't been, I guess, but the icing on the cake again. I wonder why he would resign over that. Then you find out it's much deeper than money. Now it's a total integrity issue because it's money issues, it's character issues, it's leadership issues, it's predatory power issues. You can't survive that.
No, you can't.
That you can't survive. So what do you think? Because both of us have as working with MLB Bro.
Right.
We've spoken to Tony Clark personally.
Yes.
We have a high degree of respect for what we know about Tony Clark. He's always treated us as equals with respect, giving the person the time. And even when I talked to him about money, an honest answer. So, boy, you really don't know somebody sometimes, man.
Nothing is shocking anymore, is it? I mean, because when you look at the ethics of this whole story, JR, there's violations on personal side and professional side, and you would have never seen that coming. And at this particular time, with the collective bargaining agreement coming up, the racial climate that we're in right now, and given baseball's track record, how detrimental could that be to the overall game that we have seen during the time where he was working with Rob Manfred and being a little bit more Afrocentric friendly?
Again, you can talk to 50 different people about this issue. My biggest concern personally is the effect that his resignation will have on the strategic, blatant push for baseball to diversify, to make it more accessible to kids in underprivileged areas, Black kids, Hispanic kids, girls, young women, what they've done with the softball programs. And then over time, you've seen a change in the grassroots level, especially of baseball, with kids participating in things of that nature. Now, that only happened because that's a priority for Tony Clark, who is a Black baseball player, who Black players, people who care about Black issues in the game. It ain't the white players in the players union that care. They have his ear. Right now, who's coming in? They're already erasing Jackie Robinson, Roberto Clemente from books. They're erasing them from Negro League history, American history. So now what? In a time where it's almost a curse word to say I'm Black and I'm proud anymore. Martin Luther King, at a time where I'm hurting inside, but I guess I don't have the power or the voice to make that much of a difference right now. When Martin Luther King Day comes and goes, and all I see are negative stories about that man. When Jesse Jackson passes, and we don't spend a week, every publication, every political publication offering, don't spend a week dissecting the life of that amazing man. I just get very depressed at what I'm seeing out here.
It's exhausting, isn't it? I mean, really, it's exhausting. And I mean, I'm not saying that life should ever be overwhelmingly easy, but the bruises that you take where we are after seeing what somebody like that does, that can't be underscored enough, bro. We are interpreted through the actions of people like that. And I think I'm over it now. I mean, you can't address them because you're hating, right? You can't chastise them for fear of somebody coming up and doing something nefarious. So where do we go from here? Are there any more heroes?
Well, in this social media age, brother, where the game is definitely played differently, you have to be very careful. There are heroes. They're the ones that don't get caught doing things that can bring down a whole empire, that can set back a whole race of people. They're the ones that take the paycheck, they take the power, but they understand the responsibility that comes with it. Especially people that aren't rappers, entertainers, that are in corporate structures that don't play by the same rules as the entertainment world. And when there's not many of you in those positions, like a Tony Clark, you're definitely a symbol of pride for other people. You influence how one group of people looks at another group of people, and also the opportunity that a person coming after you gets. When Ryan Clark said that Sharon Moore, messed it up for guys coming after him, he wasn't putting it all on his plate. He was telling you what every Black man knows, dating back to the beginning of time. And imagine if the Martin Luther Kings, the Gene Upshaws, we don't have to talk about just politics, the heads of Fortune 500 companies that you could count on your hand that were Black in the history of Fortune 500 companies, right? We can still count them on two hands, right? That weren't their own business that they started, right? The point, hey, it's a lot going on. There's still a lot of work to do. Layla Edwards, first Black hockey player to play on, like, everything's first.
Yeah, what about the speed skater?
Green.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean,
we got work to do. We're getting judged by a very small amount of people who get the opportunity. You might call it unfair, but it's a blow. And in the social media age, then it gets generalized. And then we're set back. Udoka, Moore, uh, um, uh, Clark, all very similar situations, all involving similar players, similar melanins. Just this new world order that we're in, and everybody's not accepting of it right now. And you have to know that just because you rose to a level where no one's gonna lynch you for doing certain things, definitely doesn't mean.
No. we moving back in that direction now.
Well, we hope.
Okay.
We hope. Of course, you're right. My public lynchings is all the same. Media lynchings, career lynchings, character assassination is no different. They cut you. You're right. It's still par for course.
It is.
Yes, in just a little different way. It hits you the same, it hurts you the same, it cuts you're off the same. They just got to be more aware, man. Like, I understand people are people. I do. I understand power is intoxicating. Like, we know. We see it. We see all the examples, not just black men. We see all the people who have ruined their lives over the intoxication of power, over nepotism. When you don't own the joint, nepotism doesn't work when it's somebody else's company. Getting paid through a foundation that you started while you're gatekeeping, not a good idea.
No.
Might have put that in my wife's name then if that's what we were going to do. Might have put that in my great-grandmother's name, the kid up the block. I'm not, because talk about a layup.
Well, you mean a layup for the law enforcement department, the Justice Department?
Because usually this takes time. It was like end of 2024, somebody says, yeah, blah, 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 blah. They go in, they're like, oh, wow, this is easy. They don't even have good paperwork going on. No paper trail. He's just paying people crazy bread. There's nothing coming in. Zero. His daughter works here. What's that? Sister-in-law, what? Huh? Oh yeah. Oh Scandal. Yeah. This you know what, fellas?
Yeah.
I know we got the biggest collective bargaining agreement in the history of the league, and I've been running point for the last 10 years on all these things. I hold all the secrets. I know where the bodies are buried, but guess what? You're gonna have to do this without me. I'm out.
Absolutely. That is the incomparable J.R. Gamble, boys and girls, from the Shadow League. We got 30 seconds left in this segment, but we got to come back on the other side and get to so much other stuff. But again, I mean, it is heartbreaking to have a conversation about somebody that you truly do still respect for what he meant to the game. Forget the personal indiscretions. He was big for, our generation to be able to give baseball back, and to have it tarnished just a little bit right now is a bitter pill to swallow, especially after the passing of Jesse Jackson. So let's come back to the other side in 3, 2. Let me recycle this clock here so I don't make any mistakes. In 3, 2, 1. We continue to roll here, joined by J.R. Gamble. It's your boy, Professor G, Mark Gray. It's OG Sports Rap. And I'm just, still upset as we move this brand along with having to have this conversation. But one might say it's trivial. We're talking about baseball now. Forget the scandal with the MLBPA's executive director. We're talking about the games. I'm thinking about the people who work concession stands in the ballparks, or the parking people who may not have baseball next year because of this. How perilous is the situation? How close do you really think we are to a work stoppage?
Well, prior to this situation, where the union has now lost their master negotiator and chief leader, there were baseball analysts who were saying that there's a strong possibility that we would be having a lockout. Baseball, believe it or not, is making money hand over fist. Merchandise is up, TV deals are up. The international appeal of baseball now brings in global money with the players from all around the world. The influence of the WBC and how it lines everybody right into that major league season. I mean, baseball's never been so masterful with the way that they are getting money, getting a dollar. The social media, some people's social media has hurt. Social media has saved the sport of baseball.
I'll agree.
Right? I think basketball, football would have been fine. I think social media has now you finally have more personalities now. There's more people doing things. The baseball players finally have a place where, you know, they were like almost in the Gestapo before. Like now, they can't say nothing, can't do nothing off the field. Now they are free to pursue branding and show who they are, and characters like Jazz Chisholm and the like, they start to come to life and become big, huge superstars. So I like that. The effect on the game, you lose a leader. The players were lining up for a hard fight. In 2021, in MLBBro.com, we wrote a story where Tony Clark was foreseeing the future, and he said, "We're ready to fight. There's money being made. We're gonna get down next CBA." He told you this 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So they were loading up with the artillery. They had the dots, the T's crossed, the I's dotted. You know that in that regard, and they were gonna go for it. So there was a strong chance that there was gonna be a lockout because the money that's at stake is more than ever. That's why the WNBA girls are being so stubborn, because they know that that money is there, and this is the time to get it. Because believe it or not, the economy for people with money has been vainglorious, in the words of Exclaim, right? Vainglorious. So you can expect a recession, probably as Trump steps out of office.
Well, I don't know if you step somebody probably have to cuff him, but that's a topic for another conversation.
I'm not sure the money will be there in 5 years like it is now. This is like a golden moment for franchises from the NBA to the NFL. That's why people are even selling. People don't sell franchises, but I mean, dang. When you buy it for eight million and you can get 4 billion, my God.
Like, gotta let it go, right?
You gotta let it go.
That's the Mark Cuban playbook, which serves as a transition as we keep it moving with J.R. Gamble from the Shadow League. What were your thoughts of the All-Star weekend? How'd you think that looked?
Now, I will say, isn't it funny? NBA's in a funny place again. You know me, I always look a little deeper into it. I'll try to keep it very simple. The NBA, as I always complain, has totally erased street angle from basketball. They're now in the Euro ball era. Love it or leave it. The players that come out of America have to play like European players now to succeed. It's not the other way around, where Europeans have to learn how to adapt in the NBA game like in the 80s and 90s. Now, the NBA game is more of a Euro-based game based on shooting and space and movement, things of that nature. So you have to carve yourself into that kind of player. Now, that being said, is that why the NBA slam dunk contest was so terrible? Is that why these stars, these young boys can't even execute amazing dunks anymore? Dunks that we've seen like in the early 90s on the And1 tape, they can't even do those. I don't know, because there are a lot of guys
that's the only dunks that they've got. The creativity is not there. But you made the point. The reason that they're not doing it right now is because kids are growing up. They're playing Euro League basketball on the AAU circuit. So when guys used to be in the layup lines or messing around dunking,
so I'm saying
working on the crossover, step back, fall away for three.
And I think it's been long enough now where it makes an influence. Once you've had 4 or 5 European MVPs over the last decade, that means the game's changed. That means it's more drastic at the youth level, because they copy everything they do at the coaches and the kids at the adult level. So I did not be long-winded. I did not like the slam dunk contest. It offered me nothing.
Nothing.
I was offended by the 3-point contest. It's just typical NBA. Here you have a guy who I feel he's a great player, overrated. Never really won anything. Even though I don't have anything to do with 3-point contest, I'm just setting it up. And then he doesn't play all year. He has fresh legs. He comes in, wins the 3-point contest. I just wasn't feeling that at all. I don't think you can be an inactive player, not playing, and then just resting. Everyone else done played 40, 50 games already. Now they got to come out here to the All-Star game. Now they got to compete in a 3-point contest. I mean,
the media responsibility, which is always crazy.
Like, come on. Then Dame steps in there in his pajamas and I didn't like that. But I did like the game. Did like the All-Star game like everybody else did. Only because them guys was really trying to win. That's what we asked for. We're not asking you to risk yourself, health, or play like it's the 7th game in the NBA Finals, but just like a pickup game in the backyard with your pops. You want to win. With your man, you want to win. With anybody, you want to win. Just want to win. Give the crowd a little something to, get crazy about. You don't even have to do magnificent things like they did back in the day. Just trying hard and the game being close creates excitement. Wembanyama's face when they lost that first game to the USA, that says everything you need to know.
You're right. That was a defining moment for me. He took that personal. He had charged his team up. It was great to see that. And you know something? I wish Anthony Edwards would embrace that. That, to me, is the guy. He's, game aside, he just seemed to be the alpha guy for the next generation. And we need him to do more stuff like that.
Yeah, we need him to get his personal life together. Just grow up a little bit. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what he does. I don't care how many kids you have, none of that. But when you carry a torch, there's a way that you do it. That's all I'm saying. And if you ain't willing to do it that way, you're not going to rewrite the book on what a leader does, right? Like on what people value in a leader, I should say. You're not going to rewrite the book on what people value in a leader, what people value in an iconic figure. So if that's not you, then you have to figure out a way to hide your true self from everyone else so that you can shine the light we need you to shine on the younger generation. Because sometimes it's something called TMI. Yes. Too much information, and Anthony Edwards does not understand the meaning of that word yet. One last thing, Mark, that I was not happy about was when Anthony Edwards he was being led and groomed, per se, by Kevin Durant on this particular issue. Kevin Durant sits there and says, I went back and watched some old All-Star game. First of all, I hate when anybody does that because that has nothing to do with the moment, understanding era, understanding context. Like, you sound dumb, but okay, right? I went back and I watched them. They wasn't really playing hard. They wasn't really doing nothing exciting. So this is the problem I have with a lot of NBA players.
They were still wearing canvas chucks most of that time, too. So
they never watched the games coming up. Like the kids of this era, they was playing games. They weren't watching games. They were playing games. 3, 4, 5, 10 a weekend. They weren't watching games. They watched Jordan every now and then, Kobe, because those were the guys.
Yeah. You had to know. I mean, of course, but I think he's the alpha male. You brought up, and we're coming up against it, and I know you like me, a women's hoop fan. I like Unrivaled. Is there a way we could work that into the NBA All-Star Weekend and omit maybe the 3-point shooting contest? Because I don't know about you. I think that's a thing. And if the WNBA doesn't really figure out this collective bargaining agreement, they got another platform where they could do it. They could do the damn thing.
They could do the thing. And because right now, people just want more women's basketball. Like, This situation actually helped the WNBA. But what you have to do now is you got to make sure you hit them when they want it, right? It's like customers. Like the customers are starving, but they're gonna go to another store eventually. So this lockout ain't helping. Caitlin Clark has not been on the court since July of last year. You're not gonna be able to get away with that much longer.
Nope, you're not.
I'm telling you. We're not going to get into another Caitlin Clark conversation, but it's pretty clear the role she plays in that league's success.
Yeah, she moves the needles.
Can we at least say that without pissing anybody off on either side?
She moves the needles. Good, bad, or indifferent, however you want to look at it. She moves the needles. And the league is better when she's healthy. And as good as women's college basketball is, it would be better with Juju if she was healthy this year.
I'm a WNBA. I'm one of the few males that I know that's a WNBA pass owner, holder. Okay. I pay every month. Like, it's real, right? My son constantly asking me, why am I watching these games? But he's 20, right? That's not their fan base. So, a 20-year-old male, right? Why I'm watching these games. But I do watch all the games. I know exactly what's going on. And you don't pay as much attention when Caitlin Clark's not playing. At least that's me personally. When they don't have a FIFA game lined up, and you lost a lot more. People not talking about it with Angel Reese being out at the end of the first year, and a lot of this year. Her walking Victoria's Secret's runway mark. Caitlin Clark doing a women's PGA tour. These commercials, Angel Reese doing McDonald's meals, all that is cool. But they wouldn't be anything without their basketball playing.
You're right.
And people got to realize that you don't use pro sports to build a brand that's based on nothing.
All right. Let me hit you with the final shot. And when it comes to the WNBA and the CBA thing, how devastating would a work stoppage be for that league? And what would happen to the players, in your opinion?
Well, I'm going to keep it real with you. The players are going to go where the bag is. So they have the Unrivaled League, and now they have Project B. That a new league where they're giving girls $2 million to play in. And then by investors, they said it was Saudi-based back at first. And then they actually called me up, the league founders, and said that it's not Saudi-based. It's just some investors.
Yeah, so, okay.
I know. It's not Saudi-based. They just might play a couple games.
Might be giving you a couple dollars.
I get it. Fine. I wrote another story, said it was not Saudi-based, backed. But whatever. All I know is that they're giving those girls $2 million a pop to play, which just makes the NBA real weird. It makes you think sometimes that the NBA was a racket that blew up.
Well, it was. And
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, look,
the way they pay them, it just
I had Antonio
weird.
Davis on this show a couple of weeks back, with the Legends of Basketball thing. And his daughter, I didn't know, was playing in the WNBA, but she's taking less money as a WNBA player than she was getting on NIL. That's and until they can fix that,
right?
They got a problem.
And they're not going to fix it overnight because they're adding 5 teams over. This is like the worst possible time for players to be talking about we striking for more money, because even if you get the money, now you're splitting it with 5 more teams, 12 more players a team. My goodness, 80 more players.
That's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Hey, we'll catch you out on the Shadow League, man. What's coming up?
For sure. Yeah, man. We just keep it in tune with everything that's going on out here. Sharon Moore had a short, if you go to the Shadow League, Sharon Moore had a victory in court today where the judge says that there might be some nefarious shit going on with how the detective secured the arrest warrant. He said there was a glaring omission that he did not tell the judge that this was an employer-employee situation. So sound like them cops doing what they do to a brother, and can't just be straight up. Gotta, we need that arrest warrant. So we can't. The judge might be like, wait a minute.
Let's
This is
keep
a
it real
working
radio,
kid.
boys and girls. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's a victory for him. Also, you know, you got to keep looking out for we got something on this contract situation. Mlbpa, the president of the NBA Players Association, she didn't like some comments Adam Silver made about how this is a, you know, sense of urgency and they have to, you know, understand that the situation is urgent. She said that the league's the only people that's not being urgent. They wanted 40% of the thing I do like before I go is that she finally gave some numbers. Like the hardest thing to do is find out what the heck anything real numbers are with that WNBA situation. But she said they wanted 40% originally. NBA offering 15 of total revenue. That's what's holding it up. WNBA is only offering 15 total revenue, right? They're trying to meet somewhere. They said they lowered their request to 28. WNBA is not budging off that 15. So now you lowered it to 28. Now they feel it's disrespectful that they come down to 15. And Chiefs doesn't want to feel like they missed the ball. But one thing I will say to that young lady, there's never been a collective bargaining agreement in the history of professional sports where you thought the players won.
True that.
You might have think
like
the players came off okay. The owners either win or the players lose.
And that's the
or
name
you take
of the game.
what you could get for now, right? Like the NFL players do, and they do all that negotiating. But at the end of the day, the owners aren't losing much. Trust me.
Not at all. Not at all. And they put a sock in it. Thanks
a
lot, bro. JR Gamble with the Shadow League.
My man, always a pleasure.
Download the mobile app. We all we got. Oh, let's stop.